Walking through the world, we always oscillate between two states. Sometimes, in the hustle and bustle, we firmly believe I am who I am, rushing for goals and being tied down by emotions. Sometimes, in solitude, we blankly ask, who am I, confused by the changes in identity and the impermanence of circumstances. This seemingly contradictory feeling actually hides the underlying truth of life. Within each of us, there reside two selves. Only by recognizing the original mind can we stand firm amidst the waves of dust. In late spring, inside a tea house by the mountain path, the fragrance of tea curls upward. Ji-Yuan, a businessman who has long shuttled between the arenas of fame and fortune, put down his account book and asked the owner of the tea house, an old man with white hair and beard, "Old sir, I have earned a lot of money and won many praises in my life. But the more successful I become, the emptier I feel. Sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror, I even feel strange. When I am alone, I toss and turn, unable to sleep, not knowing what I truly want. Why is this?" The old man refilled Ji-Yuan's teacup and pointed to the tea leaves floating up and down in the cup. "Look at these tea leaves, they are withered and curled before entering the water, and stretch out fresh and lively after entering the water. Are they still the same tea leaves?" Ji-Yuan replied, "They are the same, but their form and state have changed." The old man asked again, "Then which one do you think is their true appearance?" Ji-Yuan pondered. "The way they are before entering the water is their original form, and the way they are after being soaked is their hydrated form. Humans are like tea," the old man said slowly. "That strange self you speak of is that superficial self soaked by worldly circumstances. It is built by your wealth, status, and others' evaluations, expanding and contracting with the ups and downs of the outside world. Just like these tea leaves. They stretch when encountering water and shrink when leaving water. Always controlled by external conditions. The emptiness you feel is precisely because you take this superficial self as the whole. But forget that the tea leaves themselves inherently have their texture and fragrance, regardless of the temperature of the water or the value of the cup." Ji-Yuan frowned. "Old sir, do you mean that besides this self defined by fame and fortune, there is another self? But why have I never perceived its existence?" The old man picked up a dry tea leaf and handed it to him. "What do you feel when you hold it now?" Ji-Yuan squeezed it. "Dry, light, with the veins of the tea leaf." The old man then asked him to put the tea leaf in his palm. "Feel it quietly without judgment." After a moment, a look of surprise flashed in Ji-Yuan's eyes. "Besides its texture, I seem to feel a kind of pure existence, not bound by the label of a dry tea leaf, just a real object itself." The old man nodded. "That's it. That self you have ignored is this pure existence, which in Zen is called the original mind. It does not attach to any external labels, nor does it change with the increase or decrease of wealth or the rise and fall of status. It is the noumenon that perceives and bears everything about you. But what exactly is the relationship between this original mind and that superficial self?" Ji-Yuan pressed. The old man pointed to the mountain outside the window. "Look at that mountain. On sunny days, it is lush and green, praised as beautiful. On rainy days, it is shrouded in clouds and mist, called a hazy. At night, it is pitch black, making people feel solemn. These evaluations are all superficial appearances given by the outside world, while the rocks, soil, and vegetation of the mountain itself are its original mind. Without the original mind, there would be no these superficial appearances. But no matter how many superficial appearances there are, they cannot change the essence of the mountain. Your superficial self is all the definitions the world has for the genuine businessman, successful person, husband, father. While your original mind is the awareness itself that is not kidnapped by these identities, can clearly perceive joy, anger, sorrow, and joy, but is not dragged by emotions, the old man continued. The reason you feel empty is that you have spent your whole life pursuing the perfection of superficial appearances, but have never nourished your original mind. Just like someone who insists on pasting various labels on the mountain, but forgets that the value of the mountain lies in its own existence. Jiyuan fell into deep thought, picked up his teacup and took a sip. I seem to understand. For example, when I close a big business deal, I will be overjoyed. When I lose a sum of money, I will be anxious. These emotions all stem from the gains and losses of the superficial self, while the original mind just watches these emotional ups and downs quietly, without joy or sorrow itself. Exactly, the old man praised. That superficial self is fluid and impermanent, just like the tea leaves floating up and down in the cup. That original mind is constant and peaceful, just like the clear water in the cup. No matter how much the tea leaves tumble, they cannot disturb the clarity of the water. No matter how much the superficial appearances fluctuate, they cannot shake the peace of the original mind. Unfortunately, most people in the world stare at the ups and downs of the tea leaves and forget that they are originally the clear water in the cup. Then how should I find my original mind? Jiyuan asked eagerly. The old man put down the teapot and said, There is no need to look, it has never left. You just need to keep a little more awareness in daily life. When eating, focus on the taste of the food. Not led by judgments like, is this meal expensive or is it delicious? When walking, focus on the landing of your feet. Not entangled by thoughts like how many things are left undone, or what do others think of me? When angry, first realize I am angry, do not rush to vent, nor deliberately suppress. Just watch the comings and goings of the emotion. This awareness is the bridge connecting that superficial self and that original mind, the old man added. When you can always maintain this awareness amidst the waves of fame and fortune, you will not be trapped by superficial appearances. When you can hold on to this peace amidst the storms of emotions, you will not be hurt by gains and losses. The so-called practice is not to abandon that superficial self, but to let that original mind take the lead, making that superficial appearances serve life rather than consume it. Jiyuan stood up and bowed deeply to the old man. A single conversation with you is better than 10 years of reading. I used to think that success means having more. Now I understand that true prosperity is finding the original mind that is not shaken by the outside world. At this moment, The setting sun passed through the window lattice of the tea house, shining into the cup, where the tea leaves lay quietly at the bottom and the clear water was bright and transparent. Countless troubles in the world all come from taking superficial appearances as the essence. All peace in life comes from recognizing the essence and controlling superficial appearances. We do not need to repel the existence of the superficial self. It is a tool for us to walk through the world. But we must not forget the essence of the original mind. It is the destination where we place our lives. From today on, leave a little awareness for yourself. When pursuing goals, remember to ask yourself, is this what the original mind wants? When emotions fluctuate, remember to remind yourself this is just a constraint of superficial appearances. When you can clearly distinguish the two selves within you, you will understand. No matter how strong the storms of the outside world are, as long as the original mind is unclouded, there will always be a peaceful world. This is the life enlightenment that Zen wisdom gives us.